be working a little bit on flexibility and marrying that actually with loving our body. So a lot of people think that you can't do yoga if you're not flexible, or that flexibility is the main part of yoga. When what the word yoga means is yoke. So to bring together, to bind. So the ultimate goal of yoga is the uniting of the body, of the mind, of the spirit, bringing all of those together. So we'll talk a little bit more about flexibility and loving your body as we continue throughout the class. And I'm going to get my little timer ready here. So bring your hands to heart center here. Close your eyes. Take a few moments here to gently set an intention for yourself. And that can be something as simple as being present. It can be to stay connected to your breath. It can be to dedicate your practice to your body or to yourself or to someone else. And we'll start officially with a yummy Om. Take a nice deep breath in. Oh. Release your hands. Keep your eyes closed here. And tune into your body. Just do a body scan. See how your body is feeling today. See if you notice any sensations in any different parts of your body. And identify the overall feeling that you are experiencing right now within your body, within your mind. And then slowly open your eyes here. And we're going to come onto our bellies. We're going to take what's called Crocodile Pose. So you can take your hands one on top of the other, elbows bent right in front of you. And your legs are out long behind you. And in fact, you can lift one leg and then make it longer. See if you can make it longer, grow it out behind you, and then place it down onto the mat. Lift the other leg up and then make it longer as well. And then place it down. And maybe move your hips back and forth, right to left. And then you can simply place your head, one side of your head on your hands here. This is our Makarasana, Crocodile Pose. So, like we talked about earlier, flexibility is not the purpose of yoga. And then at the same time, there are advantages to being flexible, to moving our bodies. When we are more flexible, our muscles are more pliable, less likely to get injured. And it actually is good for the joints, for the muscles, the fascia, and for the overall health of our body. It keeps these tissues hydrated actually when we move our bodies in this particular way. So just remembering as we go through our practice today that your body's full range of motion is perfect for you. You don't need to be a contortionist. And you can lift your head up, take it to the other side, allowing your body to sink into the mat here. And then bring your head back to center here. Place your hands on either side of your chest. And if you want to re-lengthen your legs, you can do that. And then you're going to press into your hands, come into a baby cobra position here. So this is one of the more active yin poses because you do need to be engaged in order to lift the chest. So see if you can find the stillness within that engagement and the quiet within that engagement. You can either stay here in your low cobra, or if you'd like to take seal pose, you're going to take your arms, your hands out in front of you further, and then lift your chest up more. So your hips are still on the floor, pelvis is still on the floor on the mat. Making sure that you're not crunching into your lower back. So you do want to make sure that your belly button is pulling towards your spine. Listening to your body, shoring up that communication. And release. Place your hands next to your chest again. Lift yourself up to tabletop. Take your big toes together. Bring your knees out wider and then take your hips back, coming into child's pose, balasana. And maybe you even talk to your body a little bit here. Just putting out the question of, what do you need today? What do you need from me? Slowly lift your torso just slightly. Walk your hands out so that your arms are straight in front of you. And then you're going to walk your hands over to the left. You can place your right hand on top of your left if you'd like to. You can choose to either bend your elbows or keep them straight, whichever feels best for you today. With the straight arms, you're going to get more of a side body stretch here. With the bent arms, you can rest your forehead on your hands. Inhale, lift your torso slightly, walk your hands back to center. Give yourself a few moments here. And then you're going to walk your hands over to the right. This time placing the right hand on top of the left. Arms can be straight or bent. Inhale, coming back through the center. Let's just give ourselves a nice long stretch here with arms straight in front. And then come up slowly into a tabletop position here. So we're going to come into swan pose, which is also known as Ekapada Rajakapotasana or pigeon, as some of us like to say. So if you know that taking pigeon pose, regular pigeon, is not your cup of tea today, then you can take a reclined pose and do it on your back. You're going to bring your left leg forward, bent knee, and come into your swan pose. Back foot is untucked. That left foot is in towards the groin here. I'm going to inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold in. And you can bend your arms, place one hand on top of the other, and rest your forehead on top of your hands here. So a lot of yin is about finding your edge. And this is a place where you can hold the pose for several minutes, feeling sensation, but at the same time, not feeling super uncomfortable for those several minutes. So it's a little different from your edge in Hatha yoga. And, in our bodies, we do need to challenge our bodies to a certain degree to keep our bodies strong and healthy. And then too much stress at the same time is detrimental. So we're finding our edge there with our bodies as well. Gently press yourself up, coming back to a tabletop position. Take that left leg, your left toe here. Press out through the and take the left leg out to the side, left hip joint there. Moving the synovial fluid around. Fancy name. And then you can bring the left knee back towards the mat so that you're back in tabletop position here. Now you're going to bring the right leg forward, coming into swan on the other side. So pressing into the hands, lengthening the spine here. Inhale and exhale, coming forward. Opposite hand comes on top of the other one this time, and then resting your forehead on your hands. And here, ask your body the question, what can I do that brings you joy? What can I do that brings you joy? Pressing into your hands, gently lifting yourself up and bringing the right leg to meet the left, coming into tabletop. Straighten that right leg out, pressing into the toes, toes touching the mat. And then take that right leg out to the right, getting some movement in that right hip again. Come back into tabletop position, and you can flatten your feet again, your toes against the mat. Then you're going to walk your hands out in front of you, coming into melting heart pose, also known as puppy dog pose. If you'd like to rest your forehead on a block here, you can do that. You can also rest your forehead on the mat. So whatever works for you, as always. And if this feels difficult to hold, if it feels like you're using more muscle energy with your arms than you'd like to, you can definitely place your forearms onto the mat as well. Inhale, coming back up to your tabletop position. And you're going to bring your legs forward so that you're sitting down with your legs long in front of you. Taking your staff pose to begin with here. If you'd like to, I love doing this self-assist or adjustment. So you can take your hand to the inside of your inner thigh and press down, and then the other hand takes the outer thigh and pulls up. And then you place the leg back down. You can do that for either side. Just gives you a little bit more room, gets that flesh out of the way there. So then you're going to inhale, lengthening up, and exhale, come forward again, finding your edge. So you might find that your hands come to rest on your thighs or on your shins, or maybe they reach towards your feet. Remembering to listen to your body. We're creating this communication with our body by doing the yoga on a regular basis. So this way, your body is going to tell you, it does tell you what it needs, what works best for it. And then it in turn is more in tune with what you would like from it. So it's that give and take. So see if you can find some appreciation, some love for your body right now. Inhale, slowly lifting your torso. You can just bend one leg and then the other. Any little movements that you'd like to here. We're going to do a seated twist next, and you have some options here. If you'd like to, well, let's start off with just taking your left foot over your right leg. And then if you'd like to bend the right leg, you can lift the left hip up and bend that right leg so that it's coming in underneath you. This is Ardha Matsyendrasana. You're going to inhale, lifting both arms up, and exhale, twist to the left. Hook your right arm in on the outside of your left leg here. It's hard to remember which is left and right. We're twisted like this. With every inhale, you're going to lengthen. With every exhale, you're going to twist a little bit deeper. Making sure that the twist is coming from the upper back. So this means that the lower body, the core, is engaged. So pull the belly button in towards the spine. So that means you're engaging your abs, and then you're also going to engage your lower back as well. This is going to protect the sacrum and the lower back. And inhaling and exhaling. And inhale, release your twist. Take both legs out long. You can just shake them a little bit here. And now you're going to take the right foot over the left. And then either keep that left leg long, or you can tuck it in so that the left foot is coming to the outside of the right hip. So you want to make sure here that you have both sits bones rooting into the mat. If you have one sits bone that's not, so right now with these legs, you might find that that right sits bone is trying to pull up off the mat. See if you can root it down into the mat. If it's not touching the mat, then you do want to straighten out that left leg. Inhale, lifting the arms up, and exhale, twist to the right. Either hooking that left elbow on the outside of the right knee, or just holding the right knee in the crook of your left arm there. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, twisting. Remembering to engage the core so that the twist is coming from the upper back. Inhale, come back to center. Straighten your legs out in front of you and shake them a little bit here. And you can come onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side, left to right. If you do feel any tweaking in your lower back, then you can straighten one of your legs, take the other leg to the ground, either straighten it along the mat, and then you're gonna take both hands around the straight leg that's lifted and press your hands into that leg. Great, and other side. And bring your knees back in towards your chest. And our last pose today before Shavasana is Happy Baby, Ananda Balasana. So you're gonna bring your knees in towards your armpits. And this might be enough for you. You might want to just hold your calves here. If you can reach for your feet, then you can do that. Making sure that you are pressing your sacrum, your tailbone down towards the mat. So we do want to keep the natural curve of the spine there. We don't want to completely flatten the lower back. It's just a very slight tilt, a little bit of muscle energy there. Breathing, connecting with the breath. That's one of the main ways that we have available to us to speak to the body, to communicate with the body, and for the body to communicate with us. Release your legs, take them straight up. And then if you'd like to get a little inner thigh stretch here, you can take your legs out wide. Bring the legs back together, take them down to the earth and come into your Shavasana pose. Releasing all thoughts. Allowing your body to sink into the supportive earth, to be cradled by the earth. You can imagine that you're lying in a pile of the softest blankets you've ever felt. Release your jaw, soften your face. Allow your eyes to rest in your eye sockets. Soften your brain. Relax your scalp, your neck. Allow your shoulders to get heavy, your arms, hands. Release your chest, your back, your torso. Allow your belly to be soft, lower back to release. Pelvis, hips get heavy. Upper legs release. Knees, lower legs, ankles, and feet. And I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring small movements to your fingers and your toes. Reach your arms up overhead. Stretch your legs long. Reach out through your feet. See how tall you got today. Exhale, bring your knees in towards your chest. And come to one side or the other, staying here on your side in this fetal position. And take some time here to notice how you feel different. Perhaps more centered, perhaps calmer, softer, more connected. And give yourself some appreciation for having taken this time for yourself today. It's a bigger deal than we realize. Gently, lovingly press yourself up to a seated position, eyes closed, bringing your hands to heart center. Sternum presses into your thumbs. Thumbs press into your sternum. And we'll seal our practice today with a final Om. Take a deep breath in. Ah. And the light, the love, the joy, the connection that is within me, that is me, honors, acknowledges, and bows to the light, the love, the joy, the connection that is within you, that is you. Namaste.